Well, hello, hello. This is Cindy Lee, and I thought I'd just pop in and do a little impromptu, real quick podcast. It's only going to be like 3 to 5 minutes. And so I want to tell you all about this amazing author, Tiiu Napp, Healing the Holes in Your Soul. And look at that personal note here. Amazing. So let's talk about this, and let's talk about Patrick Snow.
Well, let's talk about Patrick Snow. Wow, he is a phenomenal person. He has the greatest, deepest heart. He has an amazing soul,
Yes.
ironically, and he's the one that I met um, when I was first writing a book. And my first book was actually to honor my mom and dad who had passed away. And Patrick said, uh, what a great idea. And then he said something that will live with me forever. It was a quote. And what he said was, um, you leave, basically, it's a quote, and I don't remember the quote, who it was by, but it was, you leave two things when you go from this planet: your children and your essence, your words.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what a great message to leave. We all have a story. Doesn't matter what our story is, but we all have a story. And I think that it's really, really important that we bring it forth in a book. And Patrick is a phenomenal coach. I didn't do well in English in school, but he said, don't
Same
worry.
here. Yeah.
He said, don't worry, I got you. We have editors, we have all these other people, don't even worry, just write your story. And he said, if you write D minus manuscript, don't worry, just get your story out. And he's been such a joy to work with, such a joy to work
Great.
with. And when I saw the finished product, Cindy Lee, I have one too. It
Mm,
was so
that's fun.
cool because um, everything he wants us to all present a book that has value to others. That's a chapter at the end of the chapter. Each chapter has a theme, and at the end of each chapter there's questions so that you can also relate to what happens in that chapter.
Mhm.
Everything has, whether it's the theme love or forgiveness or gratitude. This is my life story.
Oh, look at this. The narcissist. Oh my God. We all have one or 10 or 20 of those, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what Patrick was telling me was that you want to make sure that, I mean, this is like a personal development book. And when people answer the questions in the chapter and they write it down, they're not going to share that necessarily with someone else. They're going to say, "Oh, get your own book. This one's
Mhm.
mine,"
Yes.
because um, it becomes personal to you. And I don't know about you, Ben. I'm not telling you what I wrote in my own book. I mean, it's my story, but
Yes.
there's questions, and it really stimulates your thinker. How you think and how you evolve in the world. And more than anything, I think for me, my book. Sorry, I'm babbling, but more than anything for me, it was a healing journey. I had to get it out, and now I look back and I think, wow, I've
Yeah.
come a long way since I
Wow.
wrote this. So
Well,
thank you,
let's talk
Patrick Snow.
about what the content of the book is. What's the premise of the book?
Okay. The subtitle of the book is Your Journey to Freedom Begins Within. And I came from kind of I'll just say colorful past.
Mhm.
Okay, a colorful past. I had abuse and domestic violence, and I didn't know what I was doing. For the most part, I just ran with it in survival mode. So this book talks about some of the things that happened to me. It also talks about other people who inspired me to keep going. There's a section in here that I honor my grandmother
Oh,
because,
yes, I remember when you're on my podcast, you talked about that. Yes.
yeah, I honored my grandmother because I realized that I had a different kind of a war, but she was she had left her husband with two young daughters of her own when when her city during World War II was being bombed, and she took her girls to Germany. And I thought to myself, okay, I'm not in a war where I have to worry about being bombed, but I'm in a different war because of domestic violence. I never know what I'm walking into when I get home. So I took a lot of strength from what she was doing and the stories that I'd heard, and other people too. You know, each chapter has a quote from someone who inspired me, and each chapter has we have 15 steps to your freedom. And ultimately, as I was writing the book, what I realized was that the most important thing was that you have to listen to your inner voice, because that's the one thing that will guide you and keep you safe. And I never really realized it until I started sharing the stories in the book.
Wow. Well, thank you for coming on today. And yeah, we'll have to meet again, and I'll have to have you do a testimony on Patrick. It'd be pretty.
Absolutely. I would love to.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you for
go ahead
letting me
and
share my
shout
book.
out your social media and any website. We have the website here on the show. Go ahead and shout it out.
Oh, it's healingtheholesinyoursoul.com.
Okay. Any social media?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And the best way to reach me is you can either message me in Messenger, or you can email me, Tiiu Napp 3, the number 3, at gmail.com. I even offer a complimentary consultation so we can get to know one another better, and I can help you find your own journey to self-discovery inside.
Well, awesome. Let's do a shout out really quick for the 1 o'clock show. Let's talk about that really quick on Zoom with Mary and Patrick.
Oh, absolutely. Mary and Patrick, they've known each other a long time. And Mary West is the reason why I even found Patrick Snow. He
Yes.
was out doing a presentation real quick at a local mall. And I went there, and she was there too. And she introduced me to him, and he became my book coach that quick that I knew right away, instantaneously, that this is someone I need to work with. And he's an incredible guy. They do this show at 1 o'clock on Thursdays. It's on Facebook. No, it's on Zoom.
It's on Zoom. Yeah, I'll
I'm
have the link
sorry.
here in our group page. Yeah, in the group page.
Yeah, it's on Zoom, and he interviews different different authors every week, and it's phenomenal. He is an incredible interviewer. The questions that he comes up with
Definitely.
are phenomenal. So definitely, 1 o'clock on Thursdays. Yes,
Yes, and that is in 10 minutes. So we need to
absolutely.
bug out of here. So any last shout outs that you like to do? Would you like to shout out to your other business partner? And then we'll close out.
My other business partner, yes, I would. Mary West led me to Patrick Snow, and when I shared some of these life experiences with Patrick Snow, he said, "Oh, you need to call Dr. Michael Gross." And I said, "No, no, no, I don't need, I don't need a doctor." And he goes, "No, you need to meet Dr. Michael Gross because he's the author of the Spiritual Primer, and the stories that you shared with me are really, really powerful. Some of those stories are in my book, and the things that I have experienced working with Michael. I've been working with him for 3 years now, and working with Michael, when you understand how your soul talks to you, when you understand the messages that you think are maybe your gut feeling or your intuition, it's phenomenal what happens. I've grown so much in the last 3 years thanks to Mary, Patrick, and Michael. So
Oh,
definitely, Dr. Michael Gross, you can reach him. He has a complimentary consultation as well. And Michael and I do a Facebook Live every Thursday night at 7 o'clock Pacific Savings Time. And we're right there on Facebook. And you can also go to him, Dr. Michael B. Gross, at YouTube. So definitely, connect with us or him. And, he has a book. It's on my shelf over here called The Spiritual Primer. Most definitely connect with us. He changed my life. Thanks to Mary and Patrick.
oh,
And
thank
Cindy
you so
Lee.
much. Thank you so much. And I'm going to pop you in the green room and we are out. So make sure that you check out healingtheholesinyoursoul.com. You could also connect with Tiiu Napp. That's TIIUNAPP, and connect with her and build a relationship. And definitely check out her book. This is Cindy over at Growing Your Business with Referrals and National Days. Shaka. Oh, wait 1 second. We have a comment. Oh, it's Pat Williams. Hello, hello. Anything you want to say to Pat?
Hi, Patty.
What would you like to say about Pat Williams?
Oh my gosh. Patty and I did a thing. We were on a Zoom just not too long ago, and she is phenomenal. She is such a sweetheart, and she was telling me about her business called Epicure.
Oh, yes.
It's
It's
food,
amazing.
and
Healthy food.
it's good, healthy food. And I thought, you know what? I need some of this. So we're working on getting me a more healthy diet, which I think is awesome. And I'm thrilled to death that she popped in.
Well, I'm going to pop
Thank
you
you,
back out,
Patty.
and we are out. Thank you, Pat. See you at Mary West.